I'm Dana Moore, your Director of Broker Relations, and welcome to today's SavvyCard training presented to you by the North San Diego County Realtors. Today's webinar will show you how to get the most out of your free SavvyCard Member Benefit. This webinar is designed to give you an overview and best practices on your free SavvyCard Member Benefit, a digital business card with integrated IDX search and single property websites for all users. Learn to capture contact info, share valuable resources, and recommended vendors. Easily market yourself and your listings to increase referrals. Remember to visit nsdcrealtors.com/education for more information about upcoming webinars. And now your presenter, Ruth Leary, Director of Sales at SavvyCard.
You are super kind. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Diana. So yes, my name is Ruth Leary. I am the Broker Relations Director here at SavvyCard, and I am going to be showing you how to use your SavvyCard to generate revenue, which is really what it's all about. So what we're going to be looking at today is your agent SavvyCard, and I'm going to use Sylvester's card for the purpose of this demo. So we're going to look at that. And then we're also going to look at these. We call them property SavvyCards, standalone websites for every single listing that you currently have in the MLS today. So they're the two things that we're going to cover. But first things first, how do you get your SavvyCard? Well, when we launched with North San Diego County Association of Realtors, we sent you all emails telling you to claim your account because your cards are already created. You just have to claim them. Now, I'm going to tell you all several times as we go through this that when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. It really is the best advice I can give you. But I don't want people going back looking at old emails. If you could, just go to SavvyCard.com for me. And when you get there, hit Get SavvyCard. Once you do that, enter the email address that you have registered with CRMLS and hit Submit. And it will resend you one of those emails telling you to claim your account. Now, when you get that email, your SavvyCard is password protected, so it's going to ask you to set a password. It's then going to ask you to enter your cell number, at which point it will text your SavvyCard to you. Now, North San Diego County have purchased for you as a free member benefit our all singing, all dancing version of our product. So it's going to be fully branded to your brokerage. You can add your photo to it, either a full body or a headshot, whatever you're using marketing today. But when some of you get the card texted to you, it might look like this. It might have a blue background on it. Please don't be put off by that. When we launch with any association of realtors or MLS, we never have enough time to put all the pretty brokerage backgrounds on and brokerage logos and such. So if you get a card like this, please do not worry. That email is also going to say to you, listen, well, I've got you here. Why don't you reply to this email and send your photo in to us? And as I say, you can send a full body photo and we'll do the cutout, or you can send a headshot. It's whatever photo you use in your marketing today. That's the one you want to send to us. And at the time that we are applying your photo to the card, we will then change this blue background to represent your brokerage logo and put a pretty real estate background on the back. Okay, so once you then get the card texted to you, can you all do me a favor? Can you just look underneath the card? If it's asking you to log in, can you please log in, enter your email address and the password that you just set. And once you're logged in, you'll see these icons underneath the card, but it's very important that you're logged in. Okay, so this is the front, consumer-facing side of Sylvester's SavvyCard. And this is his back end, his control panel, if you like, his dashboard. And that password will get you in here. Now, up at the top, I have a thing called Savvy School. And Savvy School is all things savvy. Every single thing I show you here today is in here in bite-sized chunks. So I'm just going to scroll down here, and we have some tutorials. So down here, it's going to tell you what to do next. Okay, so I've got an Android phone. What do I do? Well, you just have the card texted to you, so you receive a text message with a link. Your SavvyCard is a website. It's just a website that's built specifically for a mobile device, the very device that 70% of all internet searches were done on. So when you receive that link and click on it, all you're actually doing is opening a website. So what you're about to do now, you can do with any website you use on a regular basis. So if you have an Android phone, I just need you to access your menu bar. And your menu bar is generally up there in that top right-hand corner. It's those three little dots down in a row. Tap those three little dots, your menu bar will roll down, and we're looking for Add to Home Screen. Select Add to Home Screen, and then simply follow the steps. Add, OK. And it will place that website looking like an app on your phone. That's not an app. We haven't downloaded anything. That's called an icon. And you can do that with any website you use on a regular basis. You're just adding a shortcut, if you like, to your home screen. And it's a really useful feature. I use it all the time, actually, for adding websites to my home screen. Now, once you send your photo in to us, we're going to add your photo to that icon as well. So it will look like an app with your face on it. It's kind of cool, really. Okay, but what about me? I've got an iPhone. What do I do? So it's the same deal, really. You receive a text message with a link. You click on the link. The card opens up. And we're now looking to access your menu bar. And your menu bar on any iDevice is here. It's that square with an arrow sticking out of the top. Tap that for me. Your menu bar rolls up. And now we're looking again for Add to Home Screen. And then again, just follow the step, Add in the top right-hand corner, and it will place it looking like an app on your phone. That's not an app. It's called an icon. And again, as I say, you can do that with any website you use on a regular basis. So Savvy School, as I say, is going to have every single thing that I show you here today. So how do I claim my card, right? It's going to tell you what I just told you. How do I change my background or add my photo? You don't. We do. You simply send it to us. So every single thing I tell you here today is in here. And I get it. You know, I understand. Right now, Savvy School won't mean very much to you. But we're going to jump in and out of Savvy School as I go through the training, and it will make an awful lot more sense at the end. So up here at the top, we have a couple of videos. They're all about 4 minutes long. And before I jump in to Sylvester's card, what I like to do is I like to walk you through one of those videos. One of them is called Share in Text for two reasons. Number one, it gives you an exact reason and understanding of how and why you should use your SavvyCard and where you should use your SavvyCard, your agent card. And the other thing it does, I think, is gives you a little flavor for what those videos are like. So Share in Text goes something like this. What do we do today? We do that, don't we? Or we did. We did it prior to COVID. That stopped, didn't it, when COVID, introduced itself to us. And I wonder if, because of COVID, that simple transaction becomes a thing of the past, if we no longer do that. But we did. You did. You did it prior to COVID. So I'm going to ask all of you, how many of those did you hand out in the 12 months prior to COVID? Probably lots. Do you have the contact details of everyone you gave a card to? Probably not. And how valuable would that be to you if you had? But the real kicker comes when I ask, all those cards, where do you think they all are right now? So we all know, don't we? 90% of all business cards end up in the trash in the first week. That's the rule. And then 90% of the 10% that don't end up in a drawer somewhere, a pile on someone's desk. We're all guilty of it, aren't we? So the problem with that, handing over paper business cards, is exactly what this slide depicts. Now, I know the commission structure in real estate, and that's the potential customer walking away from you with a piece of paper somewhere on their person. So shared text is 250 times more effective than handing over that piece of paper. You can do it anywhere. You can do it with anyone. You can do it as soon as you finish this call with me. And what I want you to do, is I want you to ask people, can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? So instead of handing over paper business cards, you text your SavvyCard to prospects or people that you meet. There's a couple of wins straight off the bat. The first is to you. You get prompted. Do you want to add this person's details to your phone contacts? Which of course you want to do. The recipient receives a text message with a link. They click on the link, the card opens up, and now they're prompted to add your contact details to their phone contacts. And that's a win. And I'm going to tell you why that's a win on the next slide. And then we encourage you to follow up by text message, not by calling, but by texting within 1 to 2 business days. So why is it a win that somebody adds your details to their phone contacts? Well, robocalls, that's why. In the United States of America in 2019, there were 54 billion robocalls made, 54 billion. Because of those pesky robocalls, 50% of all calls made in the United States of America today go unanswered. And roundabout now, I like to ask everyone on the call with me to agree that your customers are just like you and me. They're human, right? They do all the things we do. They like all the things we like. They dislike all the things we dislike. They're human. And we do that, you and me, we do that, which means they do that to you. When a call comes in that they don't recognize the number, we have a tendency sometimes to think, oh, that's car warranty, isn't it? Or I've won yet another free home security system, and cruises are about to start up again, aren't they, you know? So we do it, which means they do it to you. Now, I'm an iPhone girl, and Apple, in their infinite wisdom, when they released the iOS 13 update in November of 2019, they introduced a new feature called Silence Unknown Callers. It's not a default setting. You have to turn it on, but it's there for a very valid reason. Apple believed that 54 billion robocalls was a reason to introduce this feature, that their customers required it. And the way it works is once it's turned on, a call will come into your phone. Your phone will not ring. Firstly, it will scan your phone contacts. And if that number is in your phone contacts, then sure, phone rings. But if not, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It silences unknown callers. It pushes them direct to voicemail. So the way your SavvyCard circumvents all of this is you meet someone, you tap the icon on your phone, it opens your SavvyCard into your mobile device. You press the share button, you select share to individual. And now, all of a sudden, in order for me to do this very simple transaction, I need your name, I need your cell number. I'm going to type in a message, I don't know, let's find you a home, and you hit share. The first win is to you. You get prompted. Do you want to add this person's details to your phone contacts? So you hit download contact card, and it doesn't matter if you have an iPhone or an Android. You simply follow the steps. So you get to add them to your phone contacts. The recipient receives a text message with a link because your SavvyCard is web-based. They click on the link, the card opens up, and now they're prompted to add your contact details to their phone contacts. And that's a win right there. Now, when we jump over and look at Sylvester's card, those round things on your card, we call them buttons. And I'm going to tell all of you, if a button doesn't serve a purpose on your card, turn it off. It's just noise. Now, you'll all have a contact info button. And my advice to you is leave that button on. I think it serves a very valuable function. If for whatever reason a person pressed dismiss when they received your card, they can come here and hit contact info, and it serves the same function. They can add your details to their phone contacts by using that button. So I think it serves a very valuable function. Okay, we then encourage you to follow up by text message. Now, we agreed a couple of slides ago that your customers are human, that they're like you and me. So what do you like with texting today, right? Because they're the same. And there's wonderful science around texting. And the science really is this. When we receive a text message today, 99.9% of the time, that text is from someone that we know. Regardless of which app it's being delivered through, 99.9% of the time, it's from someone that we know. And it's that very simple fact that causes a rush of endorphins in us. And it's that rush of endorphins that makes our hand reach almost involuntarily for the phone. So if you text someone after you've made contact with them, you just cut through all the noise. You increase the likelihood of doing business with them by 112%. And I say 99.9% of the time because they're starting, aren't they? Spam texts. There are companies out there now who will cold text on your behalf. And my advice would be don't use the services of those companies. Think about what happens to you. So text comes in, rush of endorphins, we reach for the phone, and then it's just spam. It just annoys us. You decrease the likelihood of doing business with somebody by 39%. So texting should only be done after contact is made. It will absolutely make you more money. There's no doubt about it. You shouldn't cold text people. You'll kill an opportunity before it even begins. And as a SavvyCard employee, I am trained to tell you that you should only text after you've shared your SavvyCard. And that's not true. You should text after you've made contact for sure. But if you've shared your SavvyCard to somebody in advance, you simply enhance the entire experience because your name will show up in their phone. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look at Sylvester's card. All right, so if Sylvester had met me on the streets of California, he would have tapped his icon, pressed the share button, selected share to individual, and now all of a sudden he's going to get my name and my cell number, type in a message, I don't know, let's find you a home, and hit share. So a lot of people call us a digital business card, and we're fine with that. You know, we are a digital business card, but we are so much more than that. So all of a sudden we've become lead capture, right? So that's just captured my information. Now, the thing that makes this a real estate tool is this button right here, listing or find homes. And here we have a fully integrated Idx feed. So there's a full CRMLS, Idx feed on this card. And you guys all know how an Idx feed works. I, as a consumer, am now just looking at the information that the listing agent put in pertaining to this property. But as a consumer, if I ask a question or request a showing, that lead will be emailed to Sylvester because, of course, I found that property on Sylvester's tool. So all roads from your SavvyCard will always lead to you. And again, when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. It truly is the best advice I can give you. All right, so let's jump in here to the back end for just a sec. Excuse me. So in share and text, I asked, all those cards you handed out the 12 months before COVID, do you have the contact details of everyone? No, of course you don't. No one does. But your SavvyCard can make that a reality. Down here, I have a thing called Card Analytics. And if I click on Card Analytics, I'll wait for my internet to open up for me. There we go. Now it stores every single share you've ever made. So here is where Sylvester met me. There's my name, there's my cell number, and there's the message he put in when he met me, right? Let's find you a home. But I, in turn, shared Sylvester's card to my friend, Dowd Power. There's his name, there's his cell number, and there's the message I put in when I shared Sylvester's card to my friend Dowd. So when someone shares your SavvyCard to someone else, certain things happen. So on this occasion, Dowd received a text message with a link to Sylvester's card, but Sylvester received an email from SavvyCard in real time that said, hey, Sylvester, Ruth O'Leary just shared your card to Dowd Power. Here's his name, here's his cell number, and here's the message that Ruth put in at the time. Now, I think we can all agree that that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call money in the bank, right? So now all of a sudden we become legal referral. Now that we understand that, if somebody shares your card to somebody else, you get notified in real time. And up here in Savvy School, I have a video called Referral Team. And Referral Team will effectively tell you that all of your past clients, all of your friends and family, all of the vendors that you work with, they should all have your face on their phone. And I would be incredibly transparent with them. I would tell them, guys, I know you refer me today, and I am grateful for it. Truly, I am. But if you referred me using this tool, I'd get notified in real time. I could follow up in real time. Okay, so whenever we are now somewhere, excuse me, that is not our main dashboard, by simply clicking My Savvy Cards up here, it will always take us back to our main dashboard. So we've got Edit This Card here. Now, it's your card, it's your call. So you decide what buttons you want on and what information you want behind those buttons. So background and picture are mine, right? We do all the graphics. It's all part of your member benefit. Excuse me. So when you come here and arrive at background, the only thing you will see here on the right-hand side is card info. I see a couple of extra things because I'm SavvyCard staff. When you hit on card info, the only thing you are going to see is description. So you can come in here and type a title under your name and just press save, and it will put a title directly under your name. Excuse me. So background and picture are mine. Buttons, these round things, we call them buttons. I'm going to come back to that. Icon also belongs to me. Once you send your photo in to us, we apply it here, and we'll put that nice polished finish to the background as well. Settings is also mine. Your SavvyCard is a website. That's where we control part of your website address. Marketing. Marketing is yours. So all SavvyCards generate an email signature. So once you've sent your photo in to us, and once we've added it to your card, you can come in here, choose whatever email platform or email signature you like, and then just come down here and hit Generate Email Signature. And, you know, it's just a copy and paste exercise at this point in the game. I say do it after we've added your photo because, of course, I'm pulling your photo from that icon tab. So we need to have your photo in place before you can do this. And The lovely thing about it is that it's a clickable email signature. So when a consumer clicks on it, it will revert back to your agent SavvyCard. My QR code. So all SavvyCards generate a QR code. And these things are kind of super cool at the moment, aren't they? We've all seen them. We see them everywhere now. They're in all the bars and restaurants because of COVID, aren't they? And the really beautiful thing about that is that consumers know what to do with them when they see them now. And there was a time when these things, fell out of flavor with people. And the reason they fell out of flavor or they never really caught on was because you had to download an app to read them. But now you no longer have to do that, right? The camera quality on all of our smartphones are so wonderful now that they read the pixels on these codes. So again, it's there. My advice to you would be, I'd copy that, I'd send it off to my printer, I'd have it added to any printed material that I'm using. If I was a listing agent, I'd send that to my sign writer and I'd have them add it to my for sale sign. When a consumer holds their camera in front of this, they are now going to be delivered a link to your agent SavvyCard. And it's just another really cool way for consumers to get your information. Okay, let's jump back now to buttons. So it's a super, super, super easy product to use. In the buttons tab, anything green down the right-hand side is turned on and anything red is not. It's just that simple. So it's your card. You decide, what do you think is important? What buttons do you believe should be switched on your card? So the first thing we have here is button style. You can come in here, pick whichever button style you like, just press save after you've made a choice. Call and email. I'm pulling this information directly from the MLS. If that is not your cell number, I pull your primary contact number from the MLS. That means your primary contact number in the MLS is not your cell number, and it really should be. So you need to go back and change it at the MLS, and once you've changed it there, it will poke my system, and we'll come back and pull it from there. Email the same. I'm pulling this directly from the MLS. If that's not correct for you, change it at the MLS. My system will get poked, and we'll update from there. Text. So just come in here, enter your cell number, say, yes, show this button on my card, and press save. About me. This is nothing more than a Word document. So it's copy and paste. You can take your bio from your LinkedIn profile or the bio on your website. Just copy and paste it, say, yes, show this button on my card, and press save. If you think that's a button that you want to turn on. About my company. So I pull name and address of brokerage from the MLS, but down here we have a space for you to enter a mission statement about your brokerage. Again, it's your card. If you think that's important, failing that, you can come down here and say, no, hide this button for now and press save. Find me. So find me, name and address of brokerage yet again, but this connects to Google Maps. So it will give turn-by-turn directions to your office. Now, my question to you would be this. How many of you are actually meeting people in your office today? Not many, I don't think. I believe this button serves no purpose at this current time. So I would come in here and say, no, hide this button for now and press save. My site, social, and recommend. I'm coming back to them. Let's look at contact info first. So when we saw share in text, we know somebody receives a link, a text message with a link to your card. They click on the link, and now they're prompted to add your details to their phone contacts. They are adding to their phone contacts whatever information is in here. So this is very important. Come in here and fill it out. Put in a link to your website. Why not? Enter your email address for sure. And then once you've made an edit, just press save once you've made an edit. And now it really is up to you whether you want this button turned on or left off. I really do believe it's a very valuable button. I think it serves a very valuable function. So my advice would be leave it on, but it's your card. You decide. Okay, we have a recommend button. Now, all of you as realtors work with a plethora of service providers, right? I bet if I asked any of you for a roofer or a mortgage, guy or an insurance guy or a plumber or an electrician, you all have them, right? You all have your network. So what you can do is this. Open up their website. So I just had my house painted recently. I used 5-Star Painting. They were great. So I'm going to copy the link to their website. I'm going to bring it back here. And because I've copied the website address, I also copied that http:// So I'm going to delete that first. And then I'm going to paste that website in there. And I am going to recommend 5-Star Painting for painting. And I'm going to say, yes, show that button on my card, press save. It will turn that green and it will put a button right on my card. Now, the same with social. It's just copy and paste. Open up whatever social media platforms you have, copy them, and then pop them in here. Say, yes, show this button on my card, press save. If you believe that's important, right, to have that information attached to your card. Now, my site. So I see a lot of realtors will attach their website like this and call it, well, in this case, Garcia Real Estate or visit my website. And my question to you is, as a consumer, why should I? Why should I click here? I don't know what's on your website. All websites are different, aren't they? So why should I click? So again, my advice to you would be this. Open your own website and have a look at it, which we very rarely do we? We very rarely visit our own websites, but go and have a look. Because look, if I open it up here I've got What's My Home Worth, a free home valuation tool. If I click on that, it opens up its own unique landing page or website address. I can copy that. I can bring it back here. I can add another. I'm going to delete the HTTP because I copied it. And I'm going to call that exactly what it is now. Get your free home valuation. What else do we have here? So we have a mortgage calculator. Now, I have no reason as a consumer to know that you have a home valuation tool or a mortgage calculator on your website, right? So that's my advice. Open your website, tab it out, and once I put them in here, I can move them about. So I think free home valuation is the next most important thing. I'm going to put the mortgage calculator above that. And once I make an edit, I'm going to press save. Now, before we talk about the product as a whole, the last thing I'm going to show you about your Agent SavvyCard is this. Your Agent SavvyCard is a website. So it indexes in a Google search in the same way that any website does, except better. So Brenda Carnegie is a realtor here in my neck of the woods in Pinellas County, Florida. And if I type Brenda's name into a Google search, her SavvyCard comes up #1 in a Google search for her name. So we outperform her LinkedIn or Homelight or Zillow profile or Facebook profile. Her own website is somewhere here, maybe even on the second page. Brenda pays somebody a monthly fee to get her website to the #1 position. They never do. Her SavvyCard, however, she's had for a much shorter period of time than a lot of these things down here. And yet her SavvyCard comes in at #1. And we're not magic or black magic by any manner of means. Brenda uses the product. So every time Brenda or someone else presses a button, Google sees that as a click-through or engagement. So it just has tremendous organic SEO capabilities. Okay, now that we understand the cards a little bit better, let's talk to it now, So let me just pull up a little slide here, actually. So firstly, why is it important to add stuff like this? Again, wait for my internet to load. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sure you all have this problem. Like sometimes my internet is wonderful, and then sometimes from home it can be a little bit of a pop, really. So why is it important to add tools to your card? Stuff like this. So I would tell you this. No realtor walks through their day just meeting people who are looking to buy or sell houses, right? That's not how the world works. And thankfully, you know, what a dull world that would be. So if I meet Sylvester and I'm looking to purchase a home, no argument from me. Him giving me access to his Idx feed is probably the most valuable thing he could give me. But what if I'm not? And I'm not. I own my own home. I'm not looking to buy or sell. So what does he have for me? What do you have for those other audiences that you meet? And I believe that I'm representative of 99.9% of the population in the sense that my home is my largest financial asset. So am I interested in knowing what that's worth? Yeah, for sure I am. So I think your free home valuation tool is of great value, you know. So, and you would like to think, wouldn't you, ladies and gentlemen, that when I come in here, in order for me to get that valuation, I have to enter my email address, at which point I would like to think Sylvester has me set up on a drip marketing campaign where I get an email from him every month, every 2 months, whatever his cadence is. And out of all the emails I delete, I'm opening that one. Why? It's my largest financial asset. I'm curious. I hope it went up from the last one I got. And then you'd like to think, wouldn't you, that when I go to sell my house in a year or a year and a half's time, that I'm going to reach out to lovely Sylvester because he's that really nice guy who's been sending me that information for the last year and a half. So it's stuff like that you have to think about, right? What tools do you have? And now we can use the SavvyCard as a digital hub to attach those tools and value to the card itself and use the card as a distribution channel. Maybe it's your vendors, right? Maybe that's the thing that's of value to me. So imagine if I just bought a house from you and now I move in and I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody for what, 6 months? Isn't that the general trend? So by having all of your vendors on the card and giving that to a new home buyer, that's a wonderful resource for any new home buyer where they can come back regularly to a trusted source and pool of service providers, right? So it's things like that. That's what you need to think about. What do I have? And, you know, how can I add them to my card? Now, with regards to the home valuation tool, you all have one of these. Whether you know it or not, of course, is another thing, but you do. You absolutely do. It could be on your brokerage website, you know, the website you get from your broker. It could be there. You absolutely get Cloud CMA as a member benefit from CRMLS in the same way that you get my product. So my advice is that go and have a look at other tools that you get as a member benefit from either your broker or from your Association of Realtors or your MLS, and then see about linking them to your SavvyCard. Okay, so now that we know all of that, what's our SavvyCard now, right? So yeah, it's a digital business card with a fully integrated Idx feed, for sure. But it's also lead capture, lead generation. It indexes in a Google search, better than your own website does, I bet. And we can also now use it as a digital hub for tools and trusted vendors. Okay, so you all get that as a free member benefit. Now, I mentioned that you also get these. So we call these property SavvyCards, and they are effectively a standalone website created for every single listing that you have entered into the MLS. And the way it works is this. You put a listing into the MLS, my system gets poked, and I automatically create a property SavvyCard. And then I attach it to the listing button of your agent card. But my system will also send you, the listing agent, an email. Again, when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. It really and truly is the best advice I can give you. And when you get that email, it's going to say to you, listen, congratulations on your listing. Here's a link to your property SavvyCard, but here are some things we recommend you do with it. You should share it to the home seller. You can do it from this email. Press this button. You should share it to your Facebook page. You can do it from this email. Press this button. Now, the feature of sharing it to the home seller, we call that seller share. And really and truly, guys, who better to give a standalone website for their own property to than the home seller, right? So when you click on that button, my system will ask you, give me the name and email address of your home seller. We do nothing with that information except send an email to the home seller on your behalf. And that email is along the lines of, Dear John, your real estate agent, Brent Carter, has created this standalone website for your property. He's marketing it through various channels, but recommends that you do too. The more eyes and leads you generate, the more timely a fashion you'll sell your house. Here's how you do that, John. Press the share button, select share to social, pick any of the social media platforms that you use, write something personal about your home, ask your friends and family to share, press post. And now it becomes a lot like having a digital representation of that for sale sign go right through the home sellers network. And we know on this call, don't we, that it's not about this house. Someone is going to buy that house sooner or later. What we are doing is leveraging the home seller's social sphere to win our next customer. In the same way that great big wooden for sale sign is all about getting your next listing, right? So we're leveraging the seller's social sphere. Now, again, I don't want anyone going back looking for old emails. Once you log into your SavvyCard account, this is your agent SavvyCard control panel, but all of your listings are down here as well. And to the right of your listings, you will see Share to Home Seller. You can click on that, enter the name and email address of your home seller, and as I say, my system takes over. Now, here's an example of a home seller who posted their property SavvyCard to their Facebook page. They were advertising an open house. They tell their neighbors and family and friends about their beautiful home, you know. It generated 33 comments and 65 shares, all through the home seller's social sphere. And this particular agent was in there harvesting those comments, as you can imagine, you know. So this should be part of your standard operating procedure. In the same way that you wouldn't dream of not putting a wooden for sale sign outside the door, this should be the same. You should utilize this service for sure. Okay, so now that we understand that, let's have a quick look in Savvy School for just a sec, because I, of course, have a video called Seller Share. And Seller Share will tell you what I just told you. Yes, you should use it once you put the listing into the MLS. You can use it through that email. You can access it from your dashboard, but you should be using it for sure. And that it is a lot like having a digital representation of a for sale sign go right through the home seller's channel. But what it will also tell you is that is not where it begins. And it will tell you to scroll down here and download this listing presentation insert. And Seller Share and the technology should be introduced the very moment you walk through the door to your next listing appointment. And I would include this in my listing presentation pack. I would be leaving this behind with the customer. If I already had a listing, I would open a property SavvyCard and I would show it to them. And I would tell them, John, as well as all the wonderful marketing things I'm going to do for you, I'm going to create one of these for you, John, a standalone website for your own home. And then I'm going to send that back to you, John. Do you know, John, that 9% of homeowners in the United States say they were made aware the home that they currently live in was for sale was through the home seller's channel? And this is how we're going to access that 9%, John. I'm going to send this back to you. You, in turn, are going to push it out to your social media channels. The more eyes we get on this property, John, as soon as it hits the market, the more timely a fashion we'll sell it, the best opportunity we have of maintaining asking price. Gosh, tell me, John, are there any members of your family who are active on social media? I'll send it to all of them, John. So we use the technology and the feature to help win the listing, because once you win that listing and you put it into the MLS, well, then the SavvyCard product takes care of the rest. Okay, so that email also, suggested that you should push it to your own social media channels. Now, I'd like to think that we all agree it's got nothing to do with this particular house, right? It never does. So when you're posting things to your own Facebook pages, it's all about using it to get our next customer, right? It's always about using what you've got to win your next customer. So this would be, for me, new home listed in Paso Robles. Is that how I say that? I'm ever so sorry if I'm saying that correctly or incorrectly. If you are looking for a home in Paso Robles or surrounding areas, click here and post, right? So when we're pushing things to our own Facebook pages or our own social media channels, it's never about that home. Someone's going to buy that home sooner or later, as they say. We're using it as clickbait. And I'm sure you're all very familiar with the term clickbait. So this is clickbait. All digital advertising or any digital content whatsoever really is clickbait. We just want people to click. And when a consumer comes in here and they click on it, what are they going to do? Really, what are they going to do? They're going to look at the photos. They're going to look at property details. If they have kiddies, they're going to look at nearby schools. I have lead capture forms behind all of those buttons, where if a consumer completes it, that lead will be emailed to the listing agent, to you. When you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. So they can do that, or they can just press the contact info button and call, text, or email Sylvester directly. But if there's something about that house that's just not quite right for me, well, there's a listing button on this card, as we now know, with a full IDX search on it. And the consumer can search for any home, right? Because you and Sylvester can sell them any home. It's not about that home. We're just using it as clickbait. So the video, I have a video in there as well called Listing Share. And what Listing Share will tell you is that every time you make a change in the MLS, my system reflects it on the Property SavvyCard. So as it goes through its sales cycle, my system reflects that, right? You can see that here. This property is active under contract. If you drop the price, we drop the price, right? So whatever you have in the MLS, we mirror that on the Property SavvyCard. So every time you make a change, you should be pushing it out every single time. It's not about that house. So even active under contract, I would be pushing that out right now saying, do you have a home in Paso Robles that you're thinking of selling? I've just sold this home, right? This home is now on active under contract. I have buyers looking for homes in Paso Robles. If you're thinking of selling, call me, right? So using what we've got, regardless of where it is in the sales cycle, to get our next customer. Okay, so now that we understand it all a little bit better, let's take a jump into Savvy School, because this will make an awful lot more sense to us now. So up here we have our video. Share and text we know, referral team we know, seller share we know. Listing share, as they say, that will tell you every time you change it, anything, push it out. Use it as clickbait all day long. SavvyCard also does Facebook advertising. I don't know if any of you are doing Facebook advertising yourselves, but SavvyCard has an advertising department where you can outsource that to us if you choose. So that video will tell you all about it, or I'll bring up a slide later on telling you how to reach SavvyCard, and you can give us a call, and somebody in that department will talk to you about the product. The beautiful thing about the SavvyCard Facebook ads program is that there is no contract, there's no monthly fee. It's a pay-to-play service. So once you've signed up to it, you get a listing. My system creates the property SavvyCard. We all know what it does. But if you're a part of this program, it will also send that property SavvyCard to our ads department. And they will then take that property SavvyCard and run an ad, a lead generation ad around the zip code of the listing. On average, they generate 60 leads per ad, 60. And those will be emailed and texted to you in real time. And you can follow up with them directly yourself. Or indeed, if you have someone who does that on your behalf, because who really has the time to do that, right? If you don't want to have the leads texted to you for follow-up, you can also then add on this service, which is the SavvyISA. It's effectively like outsourcing your lead gen and then the lead nurture and follow-up. These guys will text your lead within 90 seconds of it coming into the, of being clicked on. And they call them, they email them, and they will nurture them up to 5 months. And if you have a link to a calendar, they will take it all the way to putting an appointment in your calendar for you. So if you want information on those, have a look at those, and just reach out to our ads department. They'll happily answer any questions that you have. Okay, so let's come down here now. So, alrighty, so we know how to claim the card. We know how to add our photo. How to access your SavvyCard analytics. That's that share log at the back of your card, right? It's going to tell you go to your dashboard and just click card analytics. We know how to add the card, add the icon to our Android and our iPhones. How do I share the card? Well, you just press the share button and select share to individual, follow the steps. How do I share it onto social media? Press the share button, select share to social, pick any of the social media platforms that you use. This will tell you how to turn buttons on or off, right? Go into your dashboard, hit edit this card, and it will walk you through that button set. How do I set my SavvyCard email signature? Well, I didn't even know I had one up until this webinar. So that will walk you through setting your email signature. How do I add tools to my card? This is going to walk you through adding tools to the My Sites button. And this will tell you how to add vendors to your recommend button. Now, how do I change my telephone number or my email address if it's not correct? And that's going to tell you that you do not do that with us. You do it with the MLS, and once you do it there, my system gets poked, and we take it from there, you know. Okay, so in a nutshell, that's it. That is all the SavvyCard products that you receive and have right now as a completely free member benefit from North San Diego County Association of Realtors. So what I would like to do is take some questions from you if you have any. And excuse me, I'm going to tell you how to get in contact with SavvyCard. So let me just, yep, there we go. So let me bring this slide up for you and just tell you this, that every single thing I've shown you here today, everything, is all in there in Savvy School. It's all in bite-sized chunks, you know. It's a great resource. It truly is. So if you have anything at all that you need to see again, just go there and, you know, have a look at those bite-sized chunks, how-to guides. If not, if there's something after that that you still need to talk to SavvyCard, give us a call. We're over on the East Coast, so we're Eastern Standard Time. Our business hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And if you call that number, you'll always talk to a person if you call us during business hours. Failing that, leave a voice message and someone will give you a call the next day. You can always drop us an email. Our email address is support@savvycard.com. And we also have that chat box on our website. That's your preferred method of communication, then, chat away. North San Diego County Association of Realtors are also recording this, and it will be available for you to view if you go to nsdcrealtorstv.com. You'll locate it there as well. And I believe that will be up as of tomorrow. Okay, let's have a look at our questions. I cannot view shares and referrals information. Can you help me find it? Shenglam, I'm ever so sorry again if I'm mispronouncing your name. So Shenglam, hopefully after we've seen the video, you now know how to do that. But yeah, I'll give you a quick call after this. We'll make sure that you're all set up, Alrighty, what else do we have here? Okay, so if I leave my brokerage and become an independent broker, can you change the SavvyCard to reflect the change? How long does it take? What is the effect on SEO? So, Nancy, bearing in mind, I plug directly into the MLS. If you change, I change. If you leave one brokerage and you go to another brokerage, then my system will create a new card for you. And, you clearly know all of the things that you get. The way your SavvyCard is created, is that the card from one of your brokers will be, it depends on whether you keep the same email address. Your card is created against your email address. So, again, it's all related to the information that you keep as standard, But as soon as you change brokerage, anyone does, my system simply gets poked in by the MLS to say that a change has been made. And it will create a card with all of your brokerage details and all of your brokerage branding. How long does it take? Again, it depends on how long it takes you to get that information into the MLS, and I don't know if there's manual work to be done on that end. But once it's in our system, we pull every 3 hours. So for me, no time at all, really. Okay, can you text a request for a testimonial from a recent client through SavvyCard? So Ashley, your SavvyCard is a website. So, I don't know what you mean by can you text a request for a test? I don't know what that means, Do you want to give me a call after this and we can talk about what it is that you mean? But yeah, again, now that you've seen the product, we can add testimonials. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, Ashley, I beg your pardon. I didn't understand that. So let me bring up your card again here. In fact, let's do it here with Sylvester. So I don't know. North. There we go. All righty. So if I go here we've got reviews and such, right? Or you've got testimonials. In the same way that we're just grabbing website addresses, although this might not work because I don't think that this Google website will remain at that. But if you have testimonials on your website or anything, again, in the same way that we saw we can add links here, then there's no reason why you wouldn't have a link to testimonials, so long as you have them on a web-based form, then yes, of course you can. You can add whatever you like. Tips to buy and sell, 5 things you should know before you sell your house. Whatever content you want to add, you can add so long as it's web-based and there's a link that you can attach to the card. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that for me. Excuse me. Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, so guys, do we have any other questions? No? All right, so I'm going to tell you one of the things that I get asked by people quite a lot, and that is this. What if I'm part of a team and, or indeed, if I have no listings of my own right now, but I'm in a brokerage and they've got lots of listings, can I use them? And the answer to that is yes. Your broker owns all of the listings, and your broker and only your broker could say to me, Ruth, I get it. I know what you do. That's great. But I own all of the listings. So I give you permission to put a brokerage listing tab on all of my agents' cards. And I give you permission to create a property savvy card for every single listing in my brokerage, for every single agent in my brokerage. I want them to have a full inventory of listings. So this is Joyce's property savvy card, but not her listing, a shareable office listing. And now Joyce can use that as clickbait on her social media channel. Say if you're a team, if you're a member of a team and you want property savvy cards created for all of the listings within the team, for all of the team members, then, you know, just reach out to us, have your broker reach out to us, have your team members reach out to us. But again, do the same. Email us at support@savvycard.com or give us a call on 727-502-6012. All right, so without further ado then, I am going to say to you all, thank you so much for your time today. I truly appreciate it. And go forth and be savvy. All right, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.